I am so tired of this life. How did this even happen? Cordelia asked herself. I just want to be pampered and treated like a baby girl that I am. I never wanted this child. Such a burden, she complained. I really want some tequila, but with this pregnancy I can't. I just can't wait to give birth to this child and get my life back, she continued, a frown forming on her face. At that moment, Emeka, Cordelia's husband, returned from work. As he walked into the living room, he was first hit by a strong stench and then greeted by the familiar frown on his wife's face. Something that had been a regular occurrence since she became pregnant. When they first got married, Cordelia had been a sweet young woman, always cheerful and happy. She had always wanted the big girl life, and when she met Emeka, she knew he was the perfect candidate for the lifestyle she desired. She loved clubbing like there was no tomorrow. She barely did any house chores around the house, but Emeka had no issue with that. They could always order food and hire a cleaner since he had the money. They lived like that for a while, until one day Emeka suggested it would be nice to have a living house help who would cook and clean for them. But Cordelia flared up. What do you mean by living house help? Are you tired of me already and looking for a way to bring your side chick into our matrimonial home? She asked angrily. What? How can you say that? Emeka replied. I just don't like that we are paying extra for something that could be more cost effective. Cordelia, it is you I love. I wouldn't have married you if I didn't love you. So please set your insecurities aside and think with an open mind. If we have a live-in house help, she would cook and clean the house, and it would cost less than what we are currently spending each month on takeouts and cleaners, he reasoned. No, Emeka, I disagree. I don't want any woman to take you away from me, so we must continue with this arrangement, she begged. Why are you so inconsiderate? I work and pay all the bills, and all you do is shop, club, and sleep. Yet I don't complain. By the way, I don't have to bring a woman into this house to cheat, he said as he walked out. I will kill you and kill myself if you ever do that, she threatened as he left. Oh my God, she knows how to get on my last nerve, Emeka muttered to himself. Just then, a voice called out, Hey brother. Hey Ife, how are you? He asked. I'm fine. Why does your face look like this? She asked. I'm just tired, sis. Cordelia really knows how to piss me off, he said, explaining their quarrel. I can only imagine. Well, cheer up, she said, beaming. I will help you whenever I can. I can come clean and stock your fridge with good food, she added with a smile. But it's not for free, she said, raising her eyebrows mischievously. Emeka laughed. Thank you so much, Ife. You have really lifted my mood, he said. And they talked for some more. Emeka gave her some money to buy provisions for the house. Ife went to the market and bought everything she needed to cook for her brother. When she returned, she was met with chaos in the kitchen. Cordelia had just finished making herself some noodles, leaving the kitchen in a huge mess. What did you do in here, Cordelia? Why is this place so messy? Ife asked, mortified. I'm sure you have eyes and can see for yourself, Cordelia said as she left the kitchen with a plate of noodles in hand. Ugh! I'm doing this for you, brother, Ife grumbled, getting to work. She cleaned the kitchen and prepared everything she needed to cook. A few hours later, she served her brother. Emeka ate and almost bit his finger. Hmm, this is so delicious, Ife. Your future husband will be lucky, he said. I'm sure it's nothing special, Cordelia muttered with a frown. By the way, why didn't you serve me? She asked Ife, who remained silent. Babe, babe, look at your sister. She's disrespecting me, and you are just sitting there, Cordelia whined. But no one answered her. Furious, she stormed out. Mood killer, Ife muttered under her breath. From that day, Ife would regularly come to her brother's house to cook and clean. One Saturday morning, Emeka was tidying up their bedroom when he noticed one of his most expensive pairs of earrings was missing. He searched his closet but couldn't find it. He called Cordelia, but she claimed not to have seen it. After thinking for a moment, he decided to check the trash bin. While rummaging through it, he found a used pill packet and set it aside. Then he found the missing earring. Emeka then examined the pill packet more closely. To his shock, he realized Cordelia had been taking contraceptive pills without his knowledge. They had been married for 3 years, and he never imagined she would do something like this. Two can play this game, Cordelia, Emeka muttered with a wicked smile. He found where she stored her pills and swapped them with folic acid tablets, careful to buy the ones that looked almost identical to her contraceptives. Each time she bought a new pack, he would switch them. 3 months later, Cordelia began feeling nauseous and weak. Emeka suspected she might be pregnant, so he asked her, Babe, I have noticed you haven't been feeling well lately. Are you sure you are okay? He asked. Yeah, maybe I just caught a fever. I will be fine after some medication and rest, she replied. Have you thought that maybe you could be pregnant? He asked, waiting for her reaction. No, she snapped. I can't be pregnant. Emeka continued pestering her with questions, but she turned away from him, telling him to leave her alone. As usual, Emeka returned from work the next day to find Cordelia still in bed and the house untidy. He cleaned up, made her some food, and gave her a warm bath when it seemed she hadn't taken one. Then he brought out the pregnancy test kit he had bought. Although Cordelia didn't want to take the test, but she did when she saw the stern look on Emeka's face. After 3 minutes, the pregnancy test kit came back positive. Cordelia was beyond shocked. I can't be pregnant. No, it can't be, she said, panicking. Calm down, calm down. It's a good thing. We should be happy about this, Emeka reasoned. No, you don't understand. I don't want this, she shouted. I don't want a baby. Why, babe? Children are gifts from God, Emeka said. No, you don't understand. It will ruin my body, give me stretch mark, make me fat and ugly. I have to get rid of it, she cried. Cordelia, I have tried to reason with you, but you are too headstrong. If you lose this pregnancy, consider this marriage over, Emeka thundered as he stormed out of the house. Emeka wanted to report her to her parents, but Cordelia told him that her parents were dead even before they got married, and her relatives wanted nothing to do with her. While his parents told him to divorce her and marry another wife, but he couldn't bring himself to do it. How did this happen? I was so persistent with my pills. Did I make a mistake? I'm going crazy, she muttered to herself. Anyways, a few months won't hurt, and after that, I'm getting a hysterectomy, she said. Because of the pregnancy, Cordelia couldn't go clubbing and had to be careful. Sometimes she craved alcohol, like tequila, which made her furious. She constantly complained about everything, becoming furious at the slightest provocation. But Emeka endured her tantrums, providing everything she needed for a healthy pregnancy. Cordelia's due date arrived, but the doctor informed her that the baby was in a breech position and she needed to undergo a C-section. "What? My body!" she screamed. "I haven't even seen this baby, but I already hate it." The doctor glanced at her but remained silent. 2 days later, the operation was performed and the baby, a beautiful baby girl, was born. However, Cordelia refused to touch or breastfeed her baby. The nurses encouraged her, but she rudely dismissed them. Frustrated, they informed Emeka, who had been expecting such behavior. He bought the most expensive milk formula and asked a nurse for help with feeding, since he didn't know how. The nurses took over feeding and changing the baby diaper while Cordelia remained on her phone. The nurses gossiped among themselves about how negligent she was towards her newborn. 3 days later, Cordelia was discharged, but things worsened at home. While Emeka worked, she refused to feed or change the baby diaper, instead drowning herself in alcohol. Recognizing the danger, Emeka started working from home and even begged his sister to help whenever possible. One morning, Emeka woke up to find Cordelia gone. He searched the house, but she was nowhere to be found. Hours later, she returned in gym clothes. "Where have you been?" Emeka asked sternly. "Oh, I went to the gym. I need to get back in shape as soon as possible," Cordelia replied casually, showing little care. "How could you, Cordelia? It's barely 2 weeks since you gave birth. Is that all you care about? Oh wait, that's all you care about. From day one, all you ever talked about is your body," Emeka scolded, frustration evident in his voice. "You need to change your mentality before it's too late." But Cordelia was unmoved by his words. Soon, she began going out to parties and clubs with her friends. When Emeka confronted her about her reckless behavior, she would dismiss him, saying, "I never wanted this child. I just wanted to have fun and party." Things worsened when Cordelia disappeared for several weeks without a trace. During that time, Emeka's sister recommended a friend, Lucy, who was looking for a job and was good with children. Desperate for help, Emeka agreed and asked Lucy to come the next day. Lucy, Emeka's sister's friend, arrived promptly and was hired immediately. She took care of everything, bathing the baby, feeding her, and taking her to the park in a stroller. Although Lucy was paid for her work, she cared for the baby Aurora with genuine joy and love. She would sing to her while feeding her, and this consistent care greatly improved Aurora's sleep and overall well-being. Emeka often stood at a distance, admiring how devoted Lucy was with his daughter. Her laughter and playful nature intrigued him more as the days passed. He couldn't help but feel a growing affection for her. The house, once chaotic, was now tidy and filled with the smell of home-cooked meals, thanks to Lucy. For the first time in a while, there was peace in the house and it felt like home again. 3 months later, Cordelia suddenly returned home, flaunting a new figure. She strutted into the house and spotted Lucy. "Who are you and what are you doing here?" Cordelia demanded. "You are welcome, ma'am. I'm Aurora's nanny," Lucy said politely. "A nanny?" Cordelia shrieked. "Emeka! Emeka! Where are you?" she shouted, her voice filled with fury. "Sorry, ma'am. He's at work," Lucy replied. "Shut up, you dirty pig. I will count 1 to 5, and if you are not out of this house by then, I will break your head with my stiletto." Cordelia screamed, her eyes wild with rage. Lucy, holding Aurora in her arm, backed away to call Emeka and inform him about the situation. But Cordelia quickly called her back to hand her the baby. Lucy quickly gathered her belongings, unsure if she should leave without Emeka's consent. Not wanting to escalate the situation, she left the house and waited outside before calling Emeka. Emeka immediately cancelled his meeting and rushed home. When he walked through the door, he was taken aback. The woman standing before him looked different, almost unrecognizable. "Cordelia, is that you?" he asked, astonished. "Yes, my love," she replied confidently. "Don't I look more beautiful? I traveled to Turkey for some surgeries to get back in shape," she spun around, smiling proudly. But Emeka's face twisted in disgust. "Cordelia, how did I end up with someone like you?" he muttered under his breath. "You left your newborn daughter, your husband, and your entire family for 3 months for surgeries? Is that really all you care about?" Emeka asked, furious. "You knew this before you married me," she shot back. "No, I didn't," he said, his voice firm. "I don't want a woman who is so vain, who can't make any sacrifices for her own child or her husband. I regret the day I met you." "You are the worst thing that ever happened to me," Emeka said, walking away, his heart heavy with regret. He wished he could turn back the hand of time. He called Lucy and asked her to return. When Cordelia saw Lucy again, she erupted in anger, but Emeka stood his ground. "If you lay a finger on her, you will see a side of me you wished you hadn't," he warned coldly. "Whatever," Cordelia sneered. That night, she dressed in her usual skimpy clothes and left the house, heading out to party. Emeka didn't try to stop her since Lucy was there to take care of Aurora. At the club, Cordelia danced, swaying her hips provocatively. That was when Chief Agu, a wealthy politician in his late 40s, approached her. With a smooth voice, he told her to follow him, that he had an offer for her. Eager, she followed him without hesitation. He asked for her account number, and moments later, she was shocked to see 5 million naira transferred into her account. She was shocked, yet impressed. Chief Agu bought her drinks, and she drank until she couldn't handle anymore. Chief Agu carried her into his car, and they drove to a hotel. The next day, which was Saturday, Emeka was watching the news when he saw a picture of Cordelia flashed across the screen. The report revealed she had been killed the night before, with some of her body parts missing. Emeka's heart skipped a beat. He wanted to cry, but no tears came. All he could feel was pity. "Why, Cordelia?" was the only thing he could say, his voice hollow. Lucy, who had just walked into the room, saw the news and covered her mouth in shock. She wanted to offer comfort, but Emeka quietly walked out of the living room, deep in thought. He never imagined her life would end this way. Her relentless hunger for money and power had led to her tragic death. A few weeks later, Cordelia was buried. Lucy did everything she could to help Emeka heal. She knew Aurora would be all right, having never really experienced her mother's love. During this time of grief, Emeka and Lucy grew closer, but they knew they needed time to fully explore their feelings. Few morals in this story. Selfishness destroys relationship. The dangers of bad influence and poor choices. Cordelia's untimely death is attributed to the bad choices she made in life. There is more to life than partying and clubbing. Thank you for watching and I hope you enjoy. Please don't forget to like, comment and share. See you in our next one. Bye.